What's up, everyone? Welcome to Union Gaming. This is your host, Roz. As always, sorry, I was reading a text message. Um, as always, like the video, share the video, subscribe to my channel. You can find me on Facebook, YouTube. Wow, that was terrible. Hold up here a second. Be Mr. Two Take today. What's up, everyone? Welcome to Union Gaming. This is your host, Roz. Hey, before we begin, like the video, share the video, subscribe to my channel. You can find me on Facebook, YouTube, Twitter, and Patreon, all at Union Gaming. Final disclaimer, before the video gets too far in here, there will be adult language, possible adult content. Don't let your kids watch. And if you do, be prepared to answer some bunch of dumb questions afterwards. Alright, guys, so as stated, I did in my last video, I flew back to Tanaris, turned in that quest. I'm heading back to Ungoro now. I am 50% through this level. I'm hoping to hit 55 by noon today. That'll give me reasonably, I'm gonna take a break, so reasonably by 10 tonight I should be 58. That's my goal. It's a lofty goal. I also don't remember what the time I fucking woke up today, so I don't know if that's even going to be a realistic goal. Because, yeah, working night shift and then not having to work for a while, it takes a toll on your system. And I'm sure at some point this afternoon I'm going to need a nap. I'm probably going to take one after this video because all this talk of a nap is making me want one. So as I said in my previous video, I am planning on telling life stories. Stories of my life to you guys. So, this is going to be... I don't know exactly what I'm going to tell you guys. I do know it's going to be completely organic. I'm going to be thinking of something and just fire away and start telling the story of it. But, you know, the life of me, I can't really imagine my life being that super interesting. But, my God, I've done so many weird things with my life that I need to start telling people about it. I'm I'm almost 45 years old. So, I have less time on this planet than I've already spent on it. If that makes sense. I've crossed the halfway mark. So, where to begin? We can talk about my marriage, but I did that in a video before I started talking about it. I talk about a lot of my ex-girlfriends from time to time. I can talk about some of them. The girl I'm dating right now, I was explaining to her why I wear glasses. And she made the comment to me, wow, you have dated a variety of different women. And that is accurate. I don't have long-lasting relationships for the most part. Not for lack of trying on my part. The last 5 years, it has been completely lack of trying on my part. About 5 years ago, my wife and I separated and got divorced. So And ever since that point in time, I haven't really found anyone that was really worth the effort. There was one, and it didn't end well. And that was not on me. That's 100% on her as to why that didn't work. But, no matter how many times I talk about things or bring shit up to said person, it's always my fault in the end. So let me tell you the story here. We're going to pick up. Let's pick up in. Let's pick up right around August of 2016. I.e., the very end of August, so almost 5 years ago. Moment in history happened. My life history was probably the darkest time of my life. My wife had decided that she no longer wanted to be married. As fate would have it, the reason our marriage ended was the exact same reason her first marriage ended. And there's a lot of symmetry in my life. I like symmetry. Symmetry makes me feel good. So, long story short, her first husband, he was a manager for this big box company, and she cheated on him, and they got divorced. Symmetry. I am a manager for same big box company. She cheated on me, and we got divorced. It's nice to know that some people don't change. She, by the way, that I've heard through the grapevine, is now on her third engagement since our divorce. So, we'll see if this one makes it. I don't like the dude's odds, I'll be honest. So, anyway, I moved out. I ended up moving back into my old house, which I was renting out to my sister, and it wasn't a great time in my life. It was probably the darkest time in my life. If there was ever a moment in time where I would have, if I owned a gun and would have killed myself, it would have been at that point in time in my life. I can't stress how bad that affected me. Especially considering the story leading up to it. My son's mom and I broke up about a year and a couple of months, 14, 15 months before my divorce happened. So, and when my son's mom and I broke up, I went through counseling. I recognized that a lot of the bad shit that happens in my life is my fault. And unless I change who I am, it's not going to get any better. So ever since my son's mom and I broke up, I went to counseling to fix myself. And by fix myself, I mean I'm not going to fall into the same patterns. I'm not going to do the same dumb shit that led to breakups after breakup, heartache after heartache that I had done in the past. So that was the goal. And I was making a lot of progress, okay, uh, compared to who I was. And whenever my wife had decided that it was the end of our marriage, I took it very hard because for the first time in any relationship, I did nothing wrong. Okay? I, and I'm sure if you talk to her, she'll say the exact opposite, but compared to who I was before we started dating and who I was at the end of our marriage, um, completely different people, emotionally and as far as behavior goes. So, in this scenario, it was the first time where I got dumped and didn't do anything wrong. And it really affected me. And I know there's a meme with Patrick Stewart that says it is possible to do everything right and still lose. That's not weakness. That's life. I truly understand that meme now, um, because in this case, and I'm not saying I was a perfect husband. I'm not saying that I didn't make mistakes along the way. I'm saying as far as relationship ending, gripes and grievances, I didn't do anything wrong. Not in this scenario. So, so she decided that she would rather sleep with somebody else and just end the marriage. And that really affected me. I've been cheated on before. That has nothing to do with, where my mind was at mentally. Uh, believe what you want, considering a lot of people know my ex-wife, my friends and family anyway, that may be watching this. Believe what you want, but I truly did love her. And I wasn't I wasn't ready to not be married to her anymore, and she made the decision for both of us. We were having some problems uh, early on in the marriage, and there was about a month before we actually um, separated. We had talked about doing counseling. She decided she'd rather go camping instead. So that kind of tells you where I rated on the totem pole for importance of our marriage. Oh, and before this starts getting blown up out of proportion, one, I told you guys earlier, I don't do a whole lot of shit outside my house. I'm not an outside person. I don't like the outside. There's too much shit out there for me. I like being in my own private prison of my house. I like my house. My house has everything I need in it. There's no need for me to go outside. I have never enjoyed camping in my entire life. Okay? I hate it with a fucking passion. And she wanted me to go camping. And the fact that I didn't go camping was the straw that broke the camel's back for our marriage. And you can laugh all you want or comment all you want, but that was the end of it. Whenever I said no, I don't want to go to camping. It's not something that I want to do, and all I'm going to do is be pissy the whole time, and I'm going to suck the fun out of it for everybody. And that's true. That no matter how hard I try to be a better person and pretend to feign interest in stuff, I just can't. If I don't like doing something, I can't pretend, even if it's important to somebody else that I care about. I can't do it. I'm going to be miserable, and literally, you're not going to have any fun because I'm not having any fun. And that's not, let me say this better. You're not going to have any fun because I'm going to suck the fun out of it. And you're going to know I'm miserable, and I'm going to try to pretend I'm not, but you're going to be able to tell. It's not that just because I'm not going to have any fun. Fuck you guys, you're not going to have any fun either. No, that's not what I meant by that. I meant that I'm just not going to have. I'm going to be miserable, and you're going to know I'm miserable, even though I'm trying not to be miserable. I hope that makes more sense. It makes me. I also hope that makes me look like less of a dickhead. Because, but it's true. I don't enjoy camping at all. She felt the need that camping was more important than our marriage, and that was the end of it. Marriage over. So, whenever I went through some serious fucking depression, like depression you have never seen before. Sorry. If again, as I said, if I was ever going to kill myself, it was during this time. I am thankful for my friends and family. They helped me out a lot during those times. But one of my friends suggested that I get on a dating app and I put myself back out there. Alright, let's find out how this is going to play out. So I go out on a couple of dates. A couple of the girls I went out with were really cool in a certain slutty sense. Not flexing, just saying. But I became really close with one of my friends who just also happened to be going through a divorce too. Her and her husband split up after about 4 years, 5 years of marriage, and we started hanging out. During this time frame, I started dating a girl, and I fell for her. It was a different kind of love that I felt for her. It was not. It was, for lack of better terms, it was a genuine feeling for this girl. She was smart. She was pretty. We had a lot of the same interests. We had a lot of the same goals in life. Just in general, it could have been perfect. About a year later, after into this dating thing, me and her broke up. And by broke up, I mean I just walked away. I walked completely the fuck out of this relationship because after a year, and I think it's important to mention that this girl was damaged. It's like she's fucking damaged. Took me 5 years to realize that, but 4.5 anyway. But she, after a year dating, I'm like, where are we going? Are we a couple? Are we, like, what is going on? And she's like, well, I'm just not ready for a relationship at this point. All right, that's fine. After a year of dating somebody and you're not ready for a relationship. All right, I see where this is going. I walked away. I think I made the right decision. Shortly after that, I ended up dating my divorce buddy, and me and her progressed in a relationship. Didn't truly feel for her the way I felt for my ex-wife or even my or even the girl that wasn't ready for a relationship. So around Christmas of that year, I get a weird Instagram message from her. All right, the girl who wasn't ready for a relationship. And she, after dating me for a year, and we hadn't talked in months, 2, 3 months at this point, she decided to reach out to me and wish me a Merry Christmas, and I responded. I was polite, like Merry Christmas to you as well. And she's like, sorry, didn't expect you to respond, blah, blah, blah. Uh, Need you, or there's so many questions that are remain, but anyway, bye. I'm like, well, what questions remain? There are no questions that remain. And she proceeds going off on me why I just disappeared. And that set me off. All right? I just fucking lost it. I was like, look, we dated for a year. You weren't ready for a relationship. Fucking great. I'm not going to put my life on hold for you to figure out what the fuck you want out of life. Okay? And she's like, but I genuinely loved you. And I'm like, well, you never said it in a year. So how was I supposed to fucking know? As you can tell, I'm getting kind of passionate about this situation, and I felt the need I have to light up, and that sucks because that's like cigarette 3 for me today. I've been up since 4-ish, maybe 2-ish, so that's not terrible, but it's for someone who's trying to quit smoking. I need to enhance my calm. But yeah, I lost my shit on her over that, and it was all good. About 5, 6 months later, she texts me out of the blue. She lets me know that the Hazen Flea Market was not the same without me, and that was something we used to do together. We used to go to flea markets together, and I still love to go to flea markets. I really do. It's the one thing I did with her that I still enjoy doing. So, anyhow, uh, moving on, I respond. We have a semi-polite conversation, no fighting this time. A couple of weeks later, it's her birthday. I wish her a happy birthday. I think I can be mature. My girlfriend at the time, though, she thought that me and her were going to get back together. Uh, and we had problems too. I'm not going to lie. I was just as much a fault for the breakup as me and her that I was with most of my relationships. But my girlfriend at the time, she's like, you're getting back together with her. Well, she started acting weird too around the same time. And I did some research, and it turns out she was on a dating app. And I found this out because I recreated an account on a dating app and went out there specifically hunting her down, which I found her. I found it at like 3 in the morning. I wasn't going to wake her up in the middle of the night to start a fight. I was going to bring it up at a later time. The very next day, she breaks into my phone and finds out I was on this dating app and loses her shit on me about how I'm cheating on her, etc., blah, blah, blah. It was because I wasn't proactive in the situation that I got dumped. but I didn't really care. The relationship was dead anyway. So anyway, this girl who I dated about a year before, me and her talking, we start hanging out again. We are talking, we're talking, we're talking, we're talking, and I bring it up again. Hey, where do you see us going? And I get the same response. I'm not ready for a relationship. All right, cool. So I move on with my life and I start dating somebody else. And I dated them for a while, and after some time had passed, me and her reconnected again and started talking, and we were just friends. And this girl I was dating, we broke up. I started dating another girl. The reason why I have glasses, uh, and it's not because I got punched in the face or anything like that, and I have a detached cornea or something like that. No, it's I dated an optometrist, and she suggested I get an eye appointment and blah blah blah. So that's why I wear glasses, folks. Um, After a while, me and this girl, the optometrist, and we break up. It happens. Again, I'm not. Me and her were just two totally different people. I bear her no ill feelings or hatred in my heart towards her. She was genuinely a nice girl. We were just two different people, and we weren't gonna make the cut, survive, finish the race together, if you will. Um, and this brings us to the beginning of the pandemic, uh, which so the original girl who I reconnected with, all right, who I dated, Miss No, I'm not ready for a relationship. Her and her boyfriend at the time uh, break up. So we're both single. So I thought. Um, it turns out that their breakup was just a break due to the fact that he was going back to prison. Uh, so, me, a guy who is generally a decent human being, successful, and I'm flexing here a little bit, but I just don't quite understand why things happen the way they do. So, successful person, uh, not ready for a relationship with a nice guy. Uh, Absolutely, if this person's damaged and a drug addict, and oh yeah, he fucking hit her, that's why he was going to jail. Well, no, that's not why he was going back to prison. He was going back to prison for violating his parole after he hit her. So, yeah. So, that's the type of person she's ready for relationships with. So, anyhow, we're both single, and we start hanging out again, blah, blah, blah. And then she starts acting kind of weird. And I immediately, uh, I start doing the math on things. And I creep her ex on Instagram, and she's making comments on posts about how she misses him and she loves him and blah, blah, blah. All right. I was going to let it go, but she was in a bad point in that time. So, I mean, I do stuff too that's kind of not normal to help with the grieving processes. So, I didn't really go too far. I didn't pursue an argument with her over it. We're all good. we're dating. We're hanging out as much as my schedule and her schedule permits. And oh, I never made a mana citrine. Sorry. Um, and we go out, and then she comes over for Christmas with me, and spends Christmas with me and my son, and it's a really good day. All right. And she's telling me about. Oh, well, let me rephrase. Let me start back a little bit here. Beginning of December. All right. Her ex gets out of jail, and he proceeds to start calling her and blah blah blah. And he's changed, and he's going to. He wants to get back together, and blah 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 blah. This, and then he starts making death threats towards her and shit, and she calls me, and she's freaking out, and blah blah blah. So things are where they're at. And that's normal because usually little immature children like that, they don't like being told no. They don't like being told they can't have something. They think they're entitled, and most drug addicts are that way. Why does everything bad happen to me? I'm not a bad person. Most drug addicts are that way. So we're progressing. January 9th rolls around. He's starting his shit up really, like, just nonstop with her. And she's bitching about it nonstop. So I have experience with dumbasses like this. They normally don't leave their Facebook profiles private. And they also have a tendency to say stupid shit on Facebook that can be screenshotted and turned over to the police. I know this because I had to deal with somebody like that once, and it didn't end well for them. And sure enough, he doesn't have anything on private because he's dumbass. But it turns out he got engaged the day before. I'm like, huh, that's weird. And then he tried to tag her in the post about his engagement, which is also weird. Because why would you tag an ex in your post? Like, he made it in the comments section. He put her name in there, but it wasn't highlighted because she had blocked him at this point in time on everything. So, but things aren't making sense to me. Okay? Like, at the level of harassment he's at, and she says the police can't do anything about it, which I find very fucking hard to believe. I feel that she wasn't even pushing the matter. I think she liked the attention. So, things aren't making sense. We go out on, it's Valentine's Day weekend, and it comes back, like almost all our conversations at this point did, go back to Ryan. And she's talking about how she needs to go give him his stuff back. He's been out of prison since December, okay? And I looked down in the center console of her car. She has his Snap card, and it makes no sense to me why you would have the a snap card of somebody you don't want to talk to or anything, and I bring it up. I bring it right the fuck up. I'm like, so why do you have this stuff? There's no reason for it. You are done with him, I thought. So why do you have any of this stuff? Well, he wanted me to keep it while he was in prison. Like, okay. He's been out of prison for 2 months. And I question this shit, and I question it, and she gives me an answer. I don't believe any of it. Okay? I am too smart. I've seen this shit play off before. She's back together with this asshole. So, we part ways, and all of a sudden I notice that we're still Facebook friends, me and her, but we're not Instagram friends anymore. I'm like, okay, that's kind of weird. And I bring it up to her, and she's like, yeah, a couple people aren't Instagram friends with me anymore. I don't know what's going on. All right, well, here's a fun fact for you guys. The only time somebody disappears off of your shit like that is when you remove them. There is no internal server error. There is no glitch in the matrix. This was a choice of yours. And if you're going to try to convince me otherwise, you're fucking dumber than I thought. I am a reasonably smart man. So I saw through that bullshit. But I'm gonna... I don't know if I should say this, because in case she's watching, but I'm going to anyway. Here's a pro tip for you if you're gonna cheat on somebody or make it look like you're not with somebody, and you're gonna post about it on Instagram, but you don't want certain people to see it. Disconnect your fucking Twitter from your Instagram account. So I'm seeing all the shit she's posting on Instagram through Twitter. And I know this makes me sound like some kind of crazy stalker type person, but realistically, I had suspicions, and that's why I went kind of the way I did on this matter. So, anyhow, I once again just walk away. I don't want to have anything to do with her. I don't want to deal with this drama anymore. You don't want to be in a relationship with me. That's fine. You want to be with somebody else. That's also fine. You cannot expect me to sit here and watch you make a tragic mistake like this and be okay with it. That is not something that's going to happen. So, I walk away again. And I don't regret it. I made my decision, and it was definitely worth it to me for my mental health, because I can't be like that. So here is where the story gets really fun. So about a month or after this, after I stopped talking to her. So I stopped talking to her like mid-February. It was like right around February 20th, somewhere in that area. She sends me a text. Like, I don't know what's going on. This is a couple weeks later, I'm sorry. She sends me a text. Like, I don't know what's going on, like, since I'm probably blocked on here too. but I felt I should reach out. I hope all's well with you, all this. So I look at the message. You can see it's on red because I wanted to send the message that yes, I saw it. No, I'm not responding. No response is a response. Didn't respond, walked away. I'm still good. Alright? I'm holding my ground on this. She's not fucking worth it to me. Then, on a level of insanity that even my ex wife could not achieve, on Good Friday, I go out to my mailbox and I have a piece of mail in it with her return address on it. I'm like, huh, this is a new one, folks. I have never had anyone mail me a fucking letter after I have blocked them on everything. Now, at first, I was just going to burn the letter and walk away because that's what I should do. I don't care. I really don't care about her or her drama, and I have no desire to get sucked back into it. So, I ponder opening the letter or not. I immediately just wanted to burn it. But then I got to thinking about it. She knows where I work. So if I ignore this, I could, in fact, be inviting her to come into my place of employment and cause drama there. So I debate opening it or not. And then the other part of this too that I thought possibly the envelope was really thin. And she had always said for everything that I had ever done for her, she was going to find a way to pay me back. Well, for a brief moment, I thought maybe, there's a check in here. And this is her way of paying me back. I was really concerned about her showing up to my place of employment, though. I'm not going to lie. I don't want that kind of drama. My work is a no-fly zone when it comes to that kind of shit. So yeah, I opened the letter, and lo and behold, that's exactly what it was, a letter. Explaining to me that she doesn't understand what's going on, that she thought we were at a point where that if I was going to walk away, I would at least tell her. And I could, or I would, she thought maybe I had found somebody else, which I had not. I actually had just started dating the girl I'm kind of dating now. So, but at that point, I was not with anybody, and I'm technically not with anybody. I'm dating right now. I'm dating one person, but we're still in the getting to know each other phases, because her schedule and my schedule suck so bad, like they never match up. So anyhow, we're but yeah, she thought maybe I had found somebody else. She also thought there was a possibility that it was Ryan, and she thought that was hilarious because Ryan's back in jail and she hasn't spoken to him since she gave him his stuff back, and blah blah blah. All right. Again, I don't give a shit. Like, I don't believe you at all. So I respond. I do send her a text message before I block her again. I send her a text message as like, I just want you to know I got your letter. And she was like, I wasn't expecting a response, blah, blah, blah. Uh, I just wanted to let you know that everything. I hope everything's good with you and all this. Like, all right. That's fine. And then she sends me a picture of Ryan. It's a mugshot for him being back in jail. Okay. I don't care. All right. I had enough evidence to prove that you were back with this fuckstick anyway. And the fact that you have a picture queued up, his mugshot queued up to send to me, is proof that you're still not over him or still in contact with him. So, anyhow, moving on with life. Um, the last. This story keeps getting better, folks. So, anyhow, couple of days later, even though people are blocked on Facebook, you can still see like their profile picture. And she's wearing a bandana across her forehead, which is hilarious to me because the only time I have ever seen or heard of her wearing a bandana like that is when she was with this fuckstick. You know, the fuckstick that's in jail that she has no contact with. Like, all right, I'm curious now. My curiosity is piqued. So I go creep him. And guess what? There is a profile picture of the two of them. Her wearing the exact same outfit that she had updated her profile pic with his arms around her. This is a week after I get the letter. So, honestly, this chick's damaged. I have heard, I have not checked nor cared to check on her, but people do volunteer information to me. And I like it because information's great. Makes me feel better about myself because I'm by default a terrible human being. I'm trying to be better. I know this is not really helping the case that I'm not a terrible person. But people have volunteered information that the two of them have since broken up again. He has gone back to jail again. I have heard that. I have heard that her and her mom are fighting, which I think's hilarious too. Her mom hated me, but she disapproves of every choice her daughter makes, so it's kind of funny. So, yeah, that is the story of a woman who can't fall for a guy who's actually decent, but falls in love with a meth addict. So, yeah, that's kind of a snapshot into my life, how things work out for me. It doesn't hurt me, if anyone's wondering. I when I say I don't care, I don't. Um, I know, and I know this is a terrible thing for a person to say. I know she's never going to find happiness, and that's comforting to me. And I know that makes me a terrible human being, but it's nice to know that somebody who, even people who currently appear to have their shit together, um, still make bad choices. And it's comforting to know that she's never going to really be happy. Uh, and I truly do mean that. I am. It makes me happy in her misery. I don't want bad things necessarily to happen to her, but when they do, I don't feel bad about it because and then this goes back to the story of the WoW community. It's kill or be killed out there, folks. So I have options. I can either play the game and be the victim, or I can be the attacker. And as someone who's been on both sides of the fence, this side of the fence is better. You can argue with me all day long if you want to say otherwise. All right, I'm going to definitely hit 55 here. Or 55? Yeah, I'm definitely going to hit 55 here soon. I need. What do I need left? I need 4 paradoxes, 3 of those, 1 crystal, scales, and dinosaur bones. All right, yeah. There's a strong possibility I'm going to hit 55 here. Oh, there's that fucking elite. All right, so I got less than 25% to go. Red power crystal. Okay, I got Crackle's thermometer. Let's see what else we got over down here. Red power crystal. There is a Thresadon down here somewhere. There's power. There's equipment. There's red power crystals, high wall. Alright, so if I go. Where am I going? I need to go that way to get the research equipment. I am not swimming across that. I am going around. That's an elite. I don't want to fuck with an elite. Dinosaur bone. That one's done. I need a red power crystal. So that will be, I think that's 2 quests I've gotten done now. If I can get, let's see, that's complete. That's complete. I don't need anything from those guys. I do need some more of these pterodactyl fuckers. Terra run. Oh my god, I love it when my frostbolt crits like that and freezes them in place. Alright, so that's mithril. I do need that. That's a plated. I don't need any more of this. I do need that shit. And I do need to kill this. Get these crates. Jesus. Research equipment's done. Do I have a... Oh my god. That's a frenzied... Alright, that one's done. I just need to drink and get the hell out of here. Alright, folks, this is where I'm probably going to end the video. Like the video, share the video, subscribe to my channel. You can find me at Eonian Gaming on Facebook, YouTube, Twitter, and Patreon. Thanks for watching, guys. This is Roz, signing off until next time. Appreciate the support, guys. Bye.